My name is Fred Cappuccino. I'm 93 years old. I discovered Mahatma Gandhi in university back in 1943. I was so impressed that I read every book I could find about him, perhaps some 20 books. When I married Bonnie in 1953, I told her about Gandhi and she was enthralled. In 1965, I was a participant in the 5-day Gandhian standoff in Selma, Alabama, between the marchers and the police, which was successful, resulting in a voting rights law in the United States. When we started Childhaven in 1985, we decided that we would continue to follow Gandhian principles in running the organization. We have 6 children home in India and 1 each in Bangladesh, Nepal, and Tibet, caring for a total of 1,300 formerly destitute children. The Gandhian principles Childhaven tries to teach and practice are truthful and simple living, nonviolence, vegetarianism, gender equality, boys and girls are treated equally, no proselytizing, all religions are respected equally, no recognition of caste or color. It is not always easy, but it is very rewarding. We were told of one occasion years ago when a teacher at the government school raised a stick and our child said, "Nonviolence, nonviolence." The teacher was so surprised he had to laugh. These days, beating is no longer condoned in the schools. A visitor at our home in Nepal asked one of our young girls if boys and girls were treated equally. She proudly responded, "Oh yes, at Childhaven we have gender equality." About 11 years ago, Bonnie learned about Mr. V. Kalyanan. He is the last remaining personal secretary to Mahatma Gandhi. He is living in Chennai, and Bonnie went to pay her respects. He's 95 and very sharp mentally. He was glad to see her and told her a little of his experience with Gandhi. He lives on the 2nd floor of a building and has many flower pots on the ground outside. Until recently, he personally used to sweep the street in front of the building every morning. He is quite forthright and has a good sense of humor. One of the things he said with a big smile was, "Gandhi abused me. I was hired as a gardener, not a secretary. But early on, Gandhi and all his secretaries were arrested and jailed. Then Gandhi was released, but the secretaries were not. And Gandhi was frantically searching for a new secretary. He found out that I could speak English and I could type with 2 fingers, so I was expropriated from gardening to be his secretary. I didn't want to be a secretary. I wanted to do gardening, but he insisted and I had no choice." Kalyanan also told Bonnie that he was present when Gandhi was shot, standing very close to him, and contrary to popular news reports at the time, Gandhi did not say, "Hey Ram," when he died. Bonnie persuaded Kalyanan to come to our Childhaven Children's Home in Kaliampundi, 2 hours drive from Chennai, so that our 300 children could see him in the flesh as he told them stories about Gandhi. He visited several times. Another Gandhian was the late Dr. Mapuskar Padma Shri, medical doctor and waste management engineer who supervised the installation of a toilet system that utilizes a bacteriological process to extract the methane from the toilet waste. The methane is piped to the kitchen and comprises about 1/3 of the cooking fuel needed for the 300 children and staff at our Kaliampundi home. The solid effluent, is pathogen-free and is safe to use in the vegetable garden. Dr. Mapuskar agreed to become a member of the India Board of Childhaven. Let's close with a story about our commitment to Gandhian ideals. As you know, in India, there has been one caste, sometimes called sweepers, who clean the toilets. Gandhi called them Harijans, or children of God. And Gandhi practiced the ideal that everyone should clean their own toilets, which he and his followers did. The boys and girls at our largest home in Kaliampundi in Tamil Nadu attend a school a few blocks away. Some time ago, one of our 5th grade boys had to use a toilet. The toilets at the school were not working. They were filthy and in need of repair. They had not been cleaned in a long time, so he went into some bushes nearby and accomplished his purpose. Then he wanted to wash his hands and went to an abandoned deep well that was maybe 20 feet in diameter. In climbing down to the water, he slipped and fell into the water and drowned. This was a huge shock to all our children and indeed to the entire community. Our own children had been told to come home several blocks away if they needed to use a toilet, but apparently this boy had an urgent need. Bonnie happened to be visiting the home at the time and went over to the school with our manager to find out what happened. She saw that the toilets were broken and filthy. Apparently, some rowdies come on weekends and vandalize the toilets. Bonnie went back to our children's home and said to the manager, "Let's go back to the school and clean the toilets." Childhaven has a 3-wheeler vehicle. The manager, the nurse, and some of the caregivers gathered buckets, mops, rakes, and cleaning solutions. Half a dozen of them rode with Bonnie over to the school. They got out and gathered up the buckets and went to the toilets. The school staff were appalled. They said to Bonnie, "Please don't do that, madam." They brought her chair for her. "Madam, please, please sit down." But Bonnie and the others kept at it until the toilet area was cleaned. Later, Childhaven repaired the toilets at the school. So this is one example of Childhaven's commitment to Gandhian ideals, which is total and thorough.